Hello and welcome back to Podcast English TV. I'm Brian and it's a pleasure to have you with me again. In our last episode, we talked about a typical weekday. Today, we're going to zoom in on the most important part of that day, the morning routine. A good morning routine sets the tone for your entire day, and learning to talk about it in English is a fantastic way to build your fluency. So let's explore how to describe your morning from the moment you wake up to the moment you walk out the door. Part 1, the first steps, waking up and getting ready. Let's begin with the very first steps of your morning. This is all about what happens from the moment your alarm rings until you're clean and ready. I'll share some key phrase and vocabulary first. Listen closely and feel free to repeat them after me. Alarm goes off. This means your alarm clock starts ringing. Example, my alarm goes off at 6 a.m. Get out of bed. The action of physically leaving your bed. Example, it's hard to get out of bed on a Monday. Brush my teeth. A personal hygiene task. Example, I brush my teeth before I have breakfast. Wash my face. Another personal hygiene task. Example, it's important to wash my face to feel fresh. Take a shower. To get clean with water. Example, I take a shower to wake myself up. Get dressed. The action of putting on your clothes. Example, I get dressed quickly so I don't miss the bus. Now, I'm going to tell you a short story about the first part of my morning using all of these phrases. Try to listen for them. My alarm goes off at 6:30 a.m. I usually lie in bed for about 5 minutes before I get out of bed. The first thing I do is go to the bathroom. I wash my face and brush my teeth. Then I take a shower to feel refreshed and awake. After my shower, I dry my hair and quickly get dressed. Now it's your turn. Take a moment to think about the first things you do in the morning. Try to create 1 or 2 sentences about your own morning routine. Don't worry about being perfect. Just try to speak them out loud. Part 2, fueling up, breakfast and planning. This part is all about the next steps in your morning routine, usually involving food and getting ready for the day ahead. Let's learn some key phrases for this part. Listen and repeat after me. Make breakfast. The action of preparing your morning meal. Example, I usually make breakfast for my family. Have breakfast. The first meal of the day. Example, we have breakfast together before we go to school. Drink a cup of coffee, tea. A common morning beverage. Example, I always drink a cup of coffee to wake up. Check the news. A habit of reading or watching the news. Example, I like to check the news while I have breakfast. Pack my bag. The action of putting things you need for work or school into a bag. Example, I pack my bag with my laptop and notebook. Now I'm going to tell you a short story about the second part of my morning routine. Listen for the new phrases. After I get dressed, I go to the kitchen. My wife usually helps me make breakfast. We often have breakfast together at the table. I like to drink a cup of coffee, and she drinks tea. While we eat, we check the news on our phones to see what's happening in the world. After that, I pack my bag with my laptop and my lunch for the day. And now for your turn. What do you do for breakfast? Do you drink coffee or tea? Do you prepare your bag? Try to describe this part of your morning routine in a few sentences. Part 3, heading out. The final steps. This part is all about the final moments before you leave your house. It's the end of your morning routine. Let's learn some key phrases for this part. Listen and repeat. Leave the house. The action of going outside your home. Example, I leave the house at 7:30 a.m. to go to work. Head to work. The action of going to your workplace. Example, after I leave, I head to work. Commute, the journey to work or school. Example, my commute takes about 30 minutes. Take the bus, train, home, using public transportation. Example, I take the bus every morning, say goodbye, a final farewell. Example, I always say goodbye to my wife before I leave. Here is my final morning story. Listen for the new phrases. After I finish packing my bag, I am ready to leave the house. I always give my wife a hug and say goodbye. I head to work by motorbike. The commute usually takes me about 30 minutes, depending on the traffic. I try to listen to a podcast on my way. And now for your turn. How do you leave the house in the morning? How do you get to work or school? Try to describe your final steps in a few sentences. Part 4. Putting it all together. Narrating your entire morning now for our final and most important exercise. We're going to try to put all three parts together to describe your entire morning routine. I'll give you a sentence to start, and you can fill in the rest. In the morning, my alarm goes off and then I try to describe your morning from the moment you wake up to the moment you leave the house. You can talk about your habits, what you eat for breakfast, or anything you like. Don't worry about speaking fast or having perfect grammar. The goal is to get your thoughts out in English. Take as much time as you need. Pause the podcast if you like, and when you're ready, try to speak your story out loud. How did that feel? Even if you only managed a few sentences, that is a huge step forward. You've just created a story about the start of your day in English. Thank you for joining me on this journey through a morning routine. Remember, the goal is not to be perfect, but to be consistent. Every time you practice, you get a little bit better, a little more confident. You've now learned the key phrases to talk about the start of your day, and that's a powerful tool. If you found this episode helpful, please leave a rating or a review and subscribe so you don't miss our next episode. Next time, we'll talk about evening habits, which is an exciting topic. Until then, keep practicing and remember, your journey to fluency starts with small, consistent steps. See you next time and have a wonderful day.